today, when we feel unwell, we simply walk into a pharmacy, buy the medicine we need, and trust that science has our back. Most drugs are thoroughly tested, and though no medicine is perfect, the risks are usually low. But rewind the clock just 100 years, medicine was far less forgiving. Dawn of the 20th century, doctors prescribed treatments that, instead of healing, could mutilate or even kill their patients. One of the most tragic examples of this blind medical optimism is the story of Ebon Byers, a wealthy American aristocrat who became a victim of one of the deadliest medical fads in history at that time. The world was mesmerized by a mysterious element, radium. Discovered just a few years earlier, radium was hailed as a miracle. Back then, radioactivity was poorly understood, but respected physicians and scientists claimed it had the power to rejuvenate the body, heal diseases. The prominent Dr. Engelman wrote, "Radium therapy improves all vital processes." His colleague, Dr. Carl Davis, went even further, declaring that radioactivity could prevent insanity, slow aging, and fill life with youthful energy. These statements came not from charlatans, but from the respected medical voices of the time. Soon, America was swept into a radioactive craze. Radium was added to everything: toothpaste, facial creams, even food and drinks. Store shelves were packed with glowing products, promising eternal health to eager consumers. But the roots of this craze trace back to 1903, when physicist David Thompson discovered that certain healing springs were naturally radioactive due to radon gas. His findings fueled the belief that radiation was nature's ultimate medicine, a cure for every ailment. The only problem was that radon gas couldn't be bottled; it would dissipate quickly. But American ingenuity found a way. In 1912, entrepreneurs introduced the Revigator, a ceramic container infused with radium. Simply pour water into it, and by morning, you had your very own charged health elixir, right at home. The device was marketed as a fountain of eternal health. Into this world stepped Ebon Byers. Born in 1882, a wealthy industrial family, Ebon lived a life most could only dream of. Educated at Yale, he excelled at golf and horseback riding, and later joined his father's company as a board member. His future was bright. Nothing seemed capable of derailing his privileged life, until one day in 1927. After a football game, Ebon fell from a bunk in a train carriage, breaking his arm. The fracture eventually healed, but severe pain in his elbow persisted. Looking for relief, Ebon consulted doctors who recommended a popular cutting-edge remedy, Raditha. Raditha was marketed as a miracle tonic, distilled water infused with tiny amounts of radium, sold freely over the counter. Its creator, William Bailey, was a Harvard dropout turned businessman. He promised Raditha could cure dozens of ailments, from fatigue to epilepsy. And for every bottle sold, doctors received a generous commission. Byers began drinking Raditha daily at first. He felt better energized even. Encouraged by the initial relief, he kept drinking it, and drinking it. In total, he consumed over 1,400 bottles. But then, the nightmare began. Within a few years, Byers' teeth started falling out. His gums deteriorated. He struggled to speak. Pain spread through his body. Weight loss, migraines, and a sense of profound weakness followed. When doctors finally realized what was happening, it was too late. Ebon's body was being slowly destroyed from within. The radium had accumulated in his bones, causing a gruesome condition known as radium jaw. His entire lower jaw rotted away. Most of his upper jaw disintegrated. Holes formed in his skull. His bones weakened and crumbled. The public was horrified, captivated. Newspapers ran headlines like, "Radium water worked wonders until his jaw fell off." By 1932, Ebon Byers was bedridden, his once athletic body reduced to a shell. On March 31st, at just 51 years old, he passed away in agony. An autopsy revealed his body was riddled with cancerous tumors. His bones were so brittle they snapped like twigs. The tragic death of Ebon Byers shook the nation. His case, along with the emerging scandal of the Radium Girls, factory workers, also poisoned by radium, finally forced authorities to act. The element once hailed as a miracle was declared deadly, yet, shockingly, radioactive. Products continued to appear even decades later. In the early 1980s, you could still buy cigarette holders in America with radioactive filters, advertised to make smoke healthier and smoother. Byers was buried in a lead-lined coffin at Allegheny Cemetery in Pittsburgh. Even decades later, his remains were still so radioactive they posed a danger to the living. The story of Ebon Byers serves as a haunting reminder. Even the brightest hopes of science can cast the darkest shadows when we rush forward, blind to what we do not yet understand.